All right, hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. So yeah, today we're going to be working, just continuing on with this game that I'm working on. Doing some more art probably, but we'll see, I guess. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing, so we'll see. But before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that I've got my game Gunforged available for sale. It's my first commercial release as a full-time indie developer, and it's a great way to support my work. So if the game looks fun to you, please check it out. You can download the demo and play that, and if you like it, you can purchase it for $8.99. And you can also wait for it to be on sale if you want to add it to your wish list. So that would be much appreciated. I also have my Udemy courses. This is the Survivor style course in GD script. It's got thousands of students, thousands of ratings. I think people generally like it. So again, if you want to support my work, this is a great way to do it. And I also have another course in the works, which is going to be an online cooperative multiplayer course using Godot and using GD script. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I release any video that announces the availability of the course. And yeah, that's basically it. So what are we going to be doing today? I still need to come up with some art for some of the events in here, and I think that would be a fun thing to do. So the big one is this enchant card here. This enchantment table needs to be added, so I'm just going to mosey on over there real quick. So if I go to the enchant here, it's just these really ugly default Godot buttons and so on and so forth. So what I want to do is I want to actually create some kind of table for this. I'm thinking about doing a sort of Leviathan, Lovecraftian kind of thing. Excuse me, goodness. As soon as I start streaming, get some frogs in my throat. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I still have to figure out like how the enchantments are actually going to be chosen and whatnot. So yeah. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. But that's probably what we're going to be working on. So before I get into it, hello Neozoid, welcome back. Good to see you. I watched your most recent code review. It was good, and I may have learned a few things if I bothered to take notes. Nice. Well, I'm glad if you learned a few things. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Wow, my voice is going. Holy moly. I expect most game jam projects are it works, ship it, and are not designed with long-term support in mind. Yeah, exactly. Especially from beginner developers, it's like you can't really spend a whole lot of time worrying about if you're doing it correctly or not. You just gotta throw it together and get it working. Hello, Brian. You also do GD script? Yes. So I have 3 courses available on Udemy. 2 of them are in GD script. The fourth course that I'm making right now is going to be in GD script. But I use C# for personal development. Hello, Kazori. I've made a 48 hours game demo. Very nice. Very, very nice. Hello, Adam. Welcome back. Always good to see you. I hope my voice recovers. That would be nice. Okay, so what are we going to do for this art? I should probably bring up a sprite and we'll see. So we'll do UI. Enchant. Alrighty. I am going to start doodling, and we're going to see what happens. And we are going to see what happens. I'm actually going to take this reference. I'm going to move this. Well, no, it's fine, I think. So we need an enchanting table. So yeah, I am going to need a board here. Let me do that real quick, actually. Is there an enchant anywhere? Yes. We're going to travel on over to the enchant here. Take a picture of that. Okay, so this will be like our enchanting board size there. So that'll be a good reference to have. Let's move this over. Okay. Places end on itch. Very nice. I'm going to have to check that out. Does chat giving input welcome? I feel guilty giving unsolicited critique. You are absolutely allowed to, yeah, send your critiques in. Just don't be offended if I say I'm not going to do that. But I do take the feedback into account, and I do often implement viewer suggestions. So feel free to critique as you like. Are you going to play the new Elden Ring? I am. Yes, indeed. Be playing that tomorrow night with my friend when it comes out. I am very looking forward to. You guys can probably guess what my main hero is going to be already. And if you answered the Revenant, then you are correct. Hello, Maikun Dev. Welcome. Good to see you all. Love having the familiar faces in here. It's always great. So I want to do tentacles, and I don't know how to do tentacles. Maybe I should, let's see. I'm hoping that I can just animate these with a shader. I should probably test that before I go too deep onto the tentacle sort of style. So I've got a tentacle. Let's just flatten this out here. Just make it look like that. You know what I might do? I'm just gonna see if I can bring this over. I'll call it tentacle test. And we want to get rid of... Let's just do selected layers. Export. Let's do a VBox container. Oh wait, I already have an enchant container. Oops. Enchant container. Okay, let's go ahead and do the tentacle test. Let's bring that over. Now this hookah here, hookah smoke, I'm going to copy, ooh. Let's just copy this. Paste that here. That's not correct. Make unique. Make unique. So first thing, we don't want the mask. So we don't want the mask, that's for sure. Uh-huh. We don't want a scroll offset either. Ooh, there we go. Okay, now there's a problem, which is that it's too tightly bounded. So I think what I need to do is do Select, modify, expand. Let's just expand it by 5 pixels. And then we'll export this again. Ooh, there we go. Now can we change the wave multiplier? Let's see, shader parameters. Does this speed not do anything? Oh, it's hard-coded in here. Wait a minute. Is this speed being used anywhere? No. There we go. So do 3 for the speed or something like that. Wave multiplier. I don't know what this is doing. Let's get rid of that. Times texture pixel size dot x times 5. I don't know what that's doing. I really don't know what that's doing. Okay, so we got wave multiplier. Let's do uniform float wave amplitude. And we'll replace that in there. So now I can take this. I don't know what this wave multiplier does. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It's a little bit too much. That looks pretty okay to me. Let's do 8. Interesting. Can I run this just standalone? Let's see. That doesn't look bad, actually. That doesn't look bad, especially if I add some more detail to the tentacle. Now, the thing that I'm not understanding is, well, I'm not understanding a lot of things here. No, that should be fine. Why does it jitter at the beginning, though? That's the question. It's jittering real hardcore right there. Why is that happening? Oh, I don't need this. Get rid of that. UV wave offset. Oh. I don't know. Ooh. Oh, it was using Perlin noise. Okay. I don't know why I was using Perlin noise. That doesn't seem like it's necessary. Maybe that will fix the jitteriness. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. So it must have just been something weird about the Perlin noise or whatever, but we got some tentacles there. Now, I guess what I could do is... It looks a little bit too uniform in terms of its... wave pattern. So I could just do 2 waves that are slightly offset and merge those together. I'm just going to play around with something real quick. UVX wave offset 2 times speed times 0.5 times wave multiplier times 0.5. And then we'll do vec2 UVX wave offset. Yep. That's looking a little bit better. What happens if I multiply these things? No, I don't want to do that. So we'll add them, I guess. If I do 0.25 and 0.25 instead. So that creates a little bit less of a uniform... Yeah, it creates a little bit less of a uniform, what you call it. And I probably want to multiply the wave amplitude by 0.5 or something too. Yeah, that'll work. Watch your composition video. Fantastic. One question, is the collision shape 2D that is required to be on the root node character body 2D used for anything or only on the hurt box? Well, the character body 2D requires a collision shape. That's a Godot requirement, and it's because the character body 2D can collide with things. That's the whole point of the character body. So the reason you need the collision shape on there is to satisfy the Godot requirement. Now, I don't think you technically need a collision shape. Godot just warns you in the editor that it's not going to collide with anything if you don't add a collision shape. So, yeah. Are you sick? I don't think so. I mean, my voice is kind of going, which makes sense because I've been recording hours and hours of course content in the afternoons as well as doing these streams. So I'm basically talking for like 6 hours a day. And then of course, if I happen to do things with friends in the evening or whatever, then I talk more. So I think my voice is just getting weaker. Tentacles are just 10 ankles in disguise. There's an interesting enemy idea in there somewhere if you're trying to make like a goofy video game. That's very creative, actually. Mid-year bonus came and was hoping to buy a course. Can you sell why GDScript? Because I only hear negative things about it from experienced dev. Yeah, so I'll sell you on GDScript. So GDScript 1, it's built in and integrated into the editor, which means that you get a lot of nice sugar stuff from being able to link directly to the documentation, from function calls to being able to quickly get references to nodes, being able to add all kinds of export categories and properties, which you can do in C#, but it's a little bit cumbersome. You can write tool scripts much easier in GDScript and editor scripts and whatnot. Again, you can do all this stuff in C# too, but it's just more streamlined in GDScript. It's very quick to write, very easy to read, and you can use the static typing or the type system if you want for a little bit more type safety. So I actually really like GDScript. I think it's really fun to write. And the reason I don't use it though is because I want the structure of C# for larger projects, especially when there's a lot of data flowing through the system. And of course, having access to link and all that stuff is very nice as well. But yeah, GDScript, when I do the GMTK jam at the end of July, I'm going to use GDScript because it's really fun and it's really quick. And there's no reason to get a whole C# system built up for a game jam game. I don't know if that sold you very well, but hello, Craig. Welcome back. Day of the Tentacle. I guess so. Welcome, Toshigata. Mid-sleepin'. Hello, I've been watching your VODs and videos, great education content. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, Mid-sleepin'. Is 640 by 352 screen resolution good for pixel art game? 40 tile width and 22 tile height, which 16 pixels each tile. Well, if there's a gameplay reason why you need the window to be exactly divisible into 16 by 16 tiles, then yeah, I would say that's fine, because the width that you're using, the 640, is still evenly divisible into 1280 and 1920 and 2560, which are the major 16 by 9 resolutions. As long as you're okay with having like black bars at the top and bottom of the screen, because it won't fill the window because you're using a lower height. If you wanted to match the height exactly, you'd have to do 640 by 360, which I know would give you like half a tile extra. So I don't know why the message get deleted. Did Zori delete the messages, or is something did YouTube go overboard? I think there's a bug in this software that I use where if you remove one message, the other ones get removed from the screen. But we working on Gunforge? No, Gunforge is basically done. I may return to it at some point, but Godot and Blender equals win. Unity and Autodesk Maya equals fail. How many tries does it take to make how many tries does it take to make a necromancer laugh? About 10 tickles. Oh my gosh. The eye roll is correct. Take a break, Mr. Five Valley. Drink some water too so you can help your voice. I've got a coffee, which is mostly water, so it's fine. I may have to take a break though. I might have to because I need to be able to produce the course, and if I can't talk for the videos, then that would be bad. Maybe I'll go just like eat a couple spoonfuls of honey. Would that help? I'm thinking of making my next game in C# just because of interfaces. Probably will try it in a jam. Yeah, for sure. The thing about jams, though, is that a lot of people expect the jam games to be able to run in the browser, which you can't do with C#. So that's something to be aware of. I don't think it will be that detrimental, but I think generally speaking, people are more likely to play your jam game if they can just click to load it in a browser. Got a question for you. When do you choose to export a packed scene versus using onReady, or in C# object initialization versus get node? So, I mean, it's a matter of personal preference. I know the people that avoid using onReady and use exports only to get references to all their nodes. I don't like doing that for a couple of reasons. One, it clutters the inspector, and two, generally speaking, what I use export variables for are things that are highly configurable. But if you're just using it to get an initial reference to a node in a scene that is otherwise not going to change, then it's kind of redundant, or it's kind of unnecessary, rather. So I understand the benefits. Like if you use an export variable and you assign a node to it, then that node's name and position can change, and the export variable will still be valid because it's pointing to the node reference rather than a path. But once your scene structure is settled and the node paths aren't changing, you've just got this whole long list of export variables that shouldn't or can't be changed without breaking something. One benefit of using export variables, though, for node references versus onReady is that the export variables are set as soon as the scene is initialized, whereas onReady happens during the ready lifecycle. I don't know what you would call it, during the ready event. So if you need references to the nodes that you're looking for as soon as possible before the node is in the scene tree, then if you use an export variable, that node reference will be available as soon as you instantiate the scene. What I do, I've got a kind of a middle ground. I am using paths for my nodes. I'm trying to figure out where I can go here. I am using node paths for my references, but that's happening through my source generators with Godot utilities where I use this node attribute. And I am also, as soon as the node is instantiated, getting references to all those nodes. So I have all of my node references before the node gets added to the tree. And that's very, very helpful, especially if you need to do some configuration stuff before you add the node to the tree. And it also keeps my inspector clear. Now, the bad thing here is that if these node names ever change or the path of the nodes changes, then my script is going to break and I have to go in and update the script. So those are kind of like the pros and cons of doing both approaches. I don't think it's super, I don't think there's like a correct answer here. It's basically whatever trade-offs you're comfortable with. But I like to keep my inspector clean, especially for things that really aren't realistically going to change much after you've set them up. It's the same message, okay. Coffee equals win, yes. Firebelly the goat, thank you, Wet Penguin. Respond to chat with hand gestures instead. I only know a couple of hand gestures and one of them is very rude. So the scalability is the major downside of GDScript. Yeah, I would say so. And again, but you can manage the scalability as long as if you're writing code, following best practices and making everything modular and following the solid principles, then you can manage it. And I would say that too, if you are very strict about typing everything in GDScript, then it makes things a lot easier. But yeah. I like the idea of get node. Is that what you're basically using for your node attribute? Yeah, so the source generator for any member that is annotated with node here, it generates this wire nodes internal function here, which, yeah, it's just doing get node under the hood. So it's just trying to get the node with the member name. And it's doing a more complicated matching down here if it can't find a relevant node. And yeah, that's basically it. So it's just get node under the hood. You're welcome, Eric. Hello, Damien. How are you doing? All right, so we've got some tentacles going. I'm kind of curious what this would look like. Duplicate this a couple times. Might draw a couple of different tentacles. I think that looks pretty good though, honestly. Yeah, I think that looks fine. So I think this is going in a good direction here. So let's do tentacle. I still need to figure out like what exactly I want to do. So with the enchantment encounter here, you should be able to select the enchant that you want and then drag a card into here. So I don't know if I need to make icons for the different enchants or if I should have a different way of selecting that. So if I'm doing like a Cthulhian, Lovecraftian sort of enchantment table here, what would thematically be appropriate? If I wanted to present the player with 3 options, 3 different enchantments that they could apply to a card, what like thematically would that look like? I have a question. Is it okay to start a big game project and learn the concepts that go along game dev as the project progresses, or go and learn and wait until you're proficient with game dev? I will say that the risk that you're going to not finish a big project is much higher if you're new to game dev and you don't understand a lot of the concepts. And the reason is because you're going to make mistakes in terms of your architecture and how your code is written. And as a project grows in that way, it's going to become a lot more unmanageable. That doesn't mean it's impossible to do, but the sort of difficulty of working on the project is going to grow with the size of the project itself. So I think this is why the advice of like make small games is appropriate first, because you can make mistakes in smaller scoped games that are easier to finish and release. And through those learnings, you become more capable of making a bigger game. That said, of course, it's okay to start a big game project. I'm not going to say you absolutely should not do that, but there are certain risks associated with that. If it's a project that you're intending to finish, then it might be a good idea to get some experience under your belt first. But if you're just like, yeah, I wanted to see if I can make the big game project and I'm kind of like, okay, if I end up failing, then yeah, go for it, you know? Hello, Rookie Tookie. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So what thematically would be appropriate for choosing the enchants here? I would say maybe crystals, but no. I'm going to be stumped on that, I suppose. I'm going to draw another tentacle while I'm stumped. That's not tentacly enough. Now, these tentacles are not finished. Because this should be tentacle 2. because what I want to do is I want to add like details to these. So let me see if I can actually do that. So if I add something like that. Probably will want to add I'm going to want to add what? What was I saying? I have no clue what I was trying to say. Apologies. I lost it. Oh, shadows and highlights. That's what I was saying. It doesn't look right. There's actually kind of already a little tentacle or a little suction cup there, so we'll just do that. There's probably not enough. Let's move this one up here more. And I think it would probably be okay to add another one up here. That's fine. Doesn't look terrible. I don't want to go overboard either with the tentacle stuff. That'll work. Lovecraft always makes me think of eyes or maybe etched runes. Yeah. I do want to do eyes, so I think what I'll do is I'm going to try to draw some kind of eye here. Oh, I should probably not do this on the tentacle layer, but that's all right. Do this and then try to get like a head of some kind. yeah, I don't know how that's going to look, but something like that. Something like that. Is there a graph-based shader editor in Godot, or am I misremembering? Yeah, I think visual shaders, right? I think visual shaders. Hello, Kelso. Why purple and pink? Well, so what I'm doing for all of my events is I'm sticking to these 3 colors, or these 4 colors, really. The black, the purple. Can I increase the size? Yeah. So black, purple, lighter purple, I guess, and red. This is just the palette that I'm sticking to for my events. And then for my cards, I use these lighter colors a lot more. That's just kind of the style that I've landed on. Because like for the events, all of this art here is just background stuff. So it's not strictly necessary for gameplay. Kind of the way I'm going is that the gameplay related items are generally going to use the brighter colors. So the things that are like interactable or important for the game, like the health globe up here has the bright outline as well. Whereas like the detail art here is just going to be, you know, sort of more muted, but still visible. Simple circle in this context made my skin crawl. Yeah, like that's what I love about pixel art. It's like one little pixel or one little shape just makes or breaks it. Sprout from the ground while holding cards. Oh, that's an interesting. Oh, that gives me an idea. So yeah, they could hold like the items here that represent like the enchantment you want to do, and then the tentacles could like slurp down when you pick them, and then like slurp back up, and then this fades in the background, and then you've got like the board, and that's how you apply the enchant. Or oh, it could all be merged as one screen. So it could be merged as one screen where you've got tentacle 1 or tentacle 2 here. So you've got, come on. So you got that tentacle there, tentacle 1 here, and maybe like a third one, duplicate down here or up here somewhere. And each tentacle is holding like the enchantment that you want to apply. And then you put a card in and you select the enchant, and that it gets applied there. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. Disgusting. Trying to think of what you haven't used yet. Yeah. Can't wait for it looks like with your shader. Yeah, it's going to look great. Tomes. Yeah, tomes are going to be... Yeah, so they could be holding tomes. That's true. Sekmek, hello. Or orbs. Orbs are a good idea too. Are you a software dev or just a game dev? Because I think most game developers are also great software, specifically data structures and algorithms. Yeah, I was a software engineer. I guess I still am a software engineer because I probably will need to get another job sooner rather than later. But yeah, I was a software engineer full-time from 2017 to 2024, basically. Remember the mechanic I couldn't do? I did it. Awesome. Congratulations, Sekmek. I'm glad that you figured it out. So your side has Necromancer theme versus the Lovecraft. So this game is like, it's merging a bunch of different like dark themes. So you've got necromancy themes, but you've also got medieval alchemy themes, alchemy themes, medieval science themes. So you think of like humors and like plague doctors and stuff like that. And then it's also got, I'm also bringing in like Lovecraftian themes now. So it's kind of just like a mashup of a bunch of things, which honestly, if you think about it, it seems like they should all be related, right? You've got like a universe with necromancy and Lovecraftian horrors and like medieval science and alchemy. Now you become a successful in game dev, then web developer. Yeah, I mean, I would say that I'm moderately successful as a game dev course instructor specifically. But in terms of sales of my games, that's not terribly impressive. Thank you, Mycoon Dev. Great to see you as always, and I hope you have a good day as well. So we got to figure this out, I guess. Maybe I'll just doodle on the head a little bit. So what I kind of want is this is definitely going to be pushing my art skills here. But we're going to try it. If it ends up looking stupid, then we will change it. What I'm trying to do is like have a brow ridge, you know what I mean? I'm just getting the sort of shapes in place. That is not centered. There we go. And what I want to do, what I'm going to try to do is kind of fade this out into the background. So like this is mostly just going to be a very, like a barely visible kind of silhouette. That's what I want it to be anyway. Oh, whoops. I franked it up. There we go. I don't know, does that shape work better? Okay, but kind of what I want to do is kind of like almost get rid of this. Get rid of that, and then I'm just going to block these off for now so I don't fill those in. This is actually kind of dangerous the way I'm doing this because I may change this art here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to bring these straight down. Why is that still not working? There we go. What? Oh. All right, this is going to be a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to do this. Cut that out, create a new layer, paste that there. But now I've got to delete that. And then let's also outline it. It looks like he has eyebrows now. Oh goodness. I think what I'll do, shoot. Oops. So we'll fix that in a second, but what I'm trying to do is, let's try this. Let me grab the head. Get a gradient going. Buyer matrix 4x4. I don't know if I like the matrix. No. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, so how am I going to fade this out then? Spray paint tool? Oh. No. So where the limits of my art skill are coming into play. Let me just try something. Mostly just experimenting here for a second. You know what I should have done? I'm going to paint these shadows on a different layer. Yeah, I have no clue. This is probably not going to work the way that I want it to, but we're going to see. Again, kind of stretching my art skills here a little bit, but we'll figure it out. Okay, that doesn't look very good. Doesn't look very good either. I think this needs to be like, yeah. That's better. I will figure out what to do with those eyes in a second here. Okay. Haven't joined the stream in a while. Good to see the game going well. Thank you, Nathan the Craziest. Appreciate that. Where can I download your games? At firebelly.itch.io. I think the links are in the description for that stuff. Also, I have games on Steam, which is also linked in the description. Game dev can make money really far, but also can waste your time. 10% gambling, publishing a hard work game and seeing it if it will be the greatest win or waste time. Yeah, I mean, I think that's generally true. Oh no, he's hot, yeah. Those are 100% eyebrow, or 1000% eyebrows, yeah. ET phone home. We're getting there, we're getting there. What I'm trying to do is like make this fade. Into the background. I don't know if that's going to work well though. That's almost working. I'm just going to end up back where I started. That's all right. I was trying to add like maybe some wrinkles or something. That looks a little bit better. Okay, we're getting there. I'm going to spend all stream on this. It's okay. That looks kind of cool. That looks better. Now, what the heck is going on up here? Okay. No, that's not good. What is this? We'll get rid of that. I know I'm not talking much here, but I don't know what to say. Watch me struggle. And here I'm going to struggle to place this pixel. And here I'm going to struggle to place this pixel. You don't want to miss this. Watch this. I have struggled to place that pixel as well. Although I think that's okay. I might actually delete. Let's see. Ah, what am I doing? No, I kind of think that something needs to be there. I just don't know. Ooh, that looks better. Okay. Now we have to figure out the eyes, really. I kind of feel like there still needs to be something there. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of there. What happens if I merge those together? No, that doesn't look good. Flesh eyebrows are always cool in my book. Yeah, I'm trying to do something like that. I don't know if it's working that well. Why does the board look like its mouth? It's almost like the octopus is eating it. Because that's what basically is happening. The board is going to sit in front, and the tentacles here are going to be in front of the, just kind of writhing around. I don't know about these eyes, though. I don't know about these eyes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to commit what I have. So that if I go way overboard, I can recover to this point. Oops. Speaking of recover to that point. Okay, that looks a little bit meaner. Yes. Ooh, I know what to do. Yes. Okay. Let me see now if I can get these eyes looking all right. I have no clue, but let's see. I actually think it needs to be the other way around. This needs to be darker over here. And then it needs to be lighter over here. I don't know. That doesn't look right either. Let's turn the symmetry off real quick. I don't know what to do for the eyes. That's a good question. Indeed. Oops. Maybe I get rid of the highlight on that one. I don't know, actually. Maybe it was fine where it was. I wonder if just leaving it, I can't use black there, that's not gonna work. I'm almost wondering if just leaving it this color. Maybe. I should have turned back on my freaking symmetry options. Oops. I left that message. I left that critical message on the stream for too long. What is more enjoyable, being a game dev or web dev? Do you wish to work and get paid, or to create and build your own? I mean, I like building my own games for sure, myself. But there's, you know, there's something to be said for being able to go to work, have a fixed amount of work time, and then get a guaranteed income at certain period. Like, there's a different kind of enjoyment with that, the sort of comfort that comes from knowing about like where your money's coming from and being reasonably assured that, you know, your income is going to be at a certain level every month. That's a different kind of enjoyment. But hello, Vincent. Very appreciative of your work and Udemy courses. One content I would love to see on your channel would be how to make different animation using tweens. I go back to lurking now. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. Welcome to the stream again. Hello, Sanzo. How did you choose a color palette? I just browsed low spec until I found one that I liked. Looking way better already. Thank you, Adam. Yeah. We're just trying to get this into a spot. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Low spec is awesome. Will give you good palettes and example art made with them so you can really judge it. Yes, exactly. How's my favorite streamer doing today? Pretty good, Arion. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? As an indie game dev, have you considered using placeholder art until you get the gameplay down, then finish the art and polish after? I don't like doing that because I have a hard time getting excited about a game and feeling the fun of a game if it looks bad. So like adding effects and particles and good art, it just helps me have more fun with the game, but also it helps me actually see what the game is going to feel and play like. Making the game with C#? Yes, indeed. Hello, Stuart. Perhaps a subtle gradient fill from the top down could help. Might give the impression of the top eyebrows without requiring all the details. Yeah, I just don't know what to do the gradient of. Imagine this if I was this good as an artist. Well, thank you. I don't know. Yeah, I'm struggling here quite a bit, but... Oh, there's a doubled up pixel there. That's not good. I should... Oh, wait. No, that's fine, actually. Should probably do the same up there. And here. I think probably this can also be darkened. You know what I might do? I might just darken this whole thing up. I think that looks way better, actually. I think that looks way better. The eyes still look flat, though. That's the thing that I'm still kind of struggling with. I don't know if I can fix that by adding something like this. The problem is that just makes it look like the flesh again. I also don't want to make it too bright, though. What can I do about the flat eyes? That doesn't look good. Although that kind of gives me an idea. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do about these eyes? Also, I still don't have like a pupil. I don't want to make him look cross-eyed. Ooh, wait a minute. That looks kind of creepy. Don't know if it's exactly what I want. Oops. Do I want to do this in blue instead? Actually, that doesn't look terrible. My problem is the black is a little bit too dark there. We'll get it. That looks kind of cool, actually. No, I ruined it. That looks too human now. It's kind of creepy. Ugh, I'm so close with these eyes, I think. Use placeholder art until your gameplay is fun. It's very hard to do. If my game looks like trash, I immediately get extremely unmotivated. Besides maybe the shopkeep, this is probably the most complex art piece in the game so far, so it makes sense that it's taken a sec to nail down. Yeah, it's definitely... Is it the most... It could be the most complex piece of art that I've tried to draw ever. Which is like not very impressive because it's like, I'm sure that there are artists out there that'd be like, knock this out in 15 minutes. But for me, it's very difficult. I don't know about the eyes though. I think they're getting there, but I just don't have a whole lot of colors to work with. Maybe, do I want to use this? I don't want the eyes to be too bright either. Honestly, this might be okay. I don't know, what do we think? Do we think black or purple? Or I don't know, maybe the eyes are just not good. Generally speaking. You saw pixel art program made with Godot, Pixelorama? Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah. Why do you ask, Davey? Or Davi? Brian, what is this asset for? This is for the enchanting encounter. So you'll be having an opportunity to enchant something, like a card. And this is just like the background art that's going to be there. This is what we started with, and this is what it turned into. The eyes are like kind of freaky, but I almost wonder if I should just keep that. Like they look kind of like human eyes a little bit, which actually is kind of unnerving. Octopus pupils might work. What do our octopus pupils look like? Let's see. Oh, they're horizontal. They're horizontal. Oh, there we go. Honestly, though, I kind of like the human eyes better. The human-esque eyes. It makes it creepier. It's terrifying, yeah. And the palette in low spec had these just 8 colors. Yep, all the colors you see here, with the exception of the transparent one. Or all in that existed in the palette. Vibe lurking. Are they going to blink? Ooh, blinking is a good idea. So blink, I would do like a lizard kind of blink where like the internal eyelid goes across the eye and then back. That would be cool. I'm liking the eyes, thank you. Blink animation would be cool. Maybe they blink sideways. Yes, exactly, yeah. You and I are on the same page, rib dot. Horizontal pupils is where it's at. Oh, you like the horizontal pupils? Okay. Very angry being, yes. The human eyes are more terrifying for sure. I'll keep the human eyes for now. Let me more work on art. The other thing that's nice about, I mean, using Git for like art is great too, or at least some kind of version control for art. Because now I just committed this and I am free to just destroy this now. It adds a lot of, or removes a lot of the pressure when you're trying to just experiment. I don't know about this like whole blank space up here. I'm trying to make this like fade into black to some extent. But that just makes it look too noisy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Oops. Let's get rid of this. No, I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I don't know how to make... I wonder if I'd be better off... Let's not do any sort of dithering here. I'd probably be better off doing something like this, where I just create patterns that go like into shadow. It's getting there. It's getting there. Hooded angry being. Add a hood to easily get through having to draw its forehead. Thank you, Dragon Apple. Gonna go through one of your lessons. Awesome. Looks pretty good now. Thank you, Craig. Looks like a void priest with a book. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm rapidly approaching what I like to say, which is the... What do I usually say? I'm rapidly approaching the... Oh my gosh, I just had it and I forgot it. Oh, quit while I'm ahead stage. So I think I'm kind of at like a point of diminishing returns where the things that I'm doing are not really improving the art that much. There's the initial sketch. There's the final art. Initial sketch, final art. Wow, that actually looks pretty good. Now I'm going to add some actual shading to this bad boy. Okay. Quit while it's ahead. Get it? Yeah, I got it. I got it, Adam. Thank you. Very pog. Thank you, Senzo. So I'm actually a half hour overdue for my 2-minute break. So I'm going to go take a quick 2-minute break. And then when I come back, I'm just going to try to add some light shading to it using this color primarily to try to just, you know, add a little bit more depth to it, which I think is going to be good. So yeah, we're going to try that. We'll see how it goes. And that'll probably be it for the stream after I get all that in place. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go on my 2-minute break here and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Snup Bill, thank you so much for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. And it's very generous as always. Always good to have you here in the stream. And of course, we've got the message Yummers, which we all look forward to every day. Thank you again, Snup Bill. You're very generous. Thank you, thank you. And we've got Adam echoing the Yummers. Very nice. So let's see what we can got, you know? Let's see what we can do here. All right, so I guess this is I'll change this to head mock-up. I'm gonna keep the mock-up in place because it's kind of funny to see what looks like a 5-year-old drawing into, oh, it actually looks pretty decent. So let's do that. Layer 1. Let's call this head. Oh, that looks terrible. Oh, wait. Okay, so what I need to do actually is I need to duplicate this and then merge that down. This is going to be all kinds of messed up here. I'm going to have to clean this up for sure. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But it looks fine. Okay. All right, let's just start adding some highlights in here and see if that improves the art at all. You know what, actually? I don't want symmetry on anymore. Oops. You know, it's funny, I ordered a book on drawing just this morning, actually. Which I will be going and picking up at the store after the stream. So we'll see if that improves my drawing abilities or not. That looks a little weird. Why does that look a little weird? There's a little bit of asymmetry in the highlighting, which I don't know if that's okay or if I should just do it symmetrically. I kind of like the asymmetry better. I don't know, I'll fix it if it's looking weird, I guess. These little pixel corners you get into are so annoying. You've got like 4 pixels to do something. And it just never looks right. That's all right. Okay. Let's see here. There's something I don't quite like about this highlight here, but I can't nail down what it is. So I'll just leave it for now. Here, let's do this. Yeah, definitely gonna want to highlight right there. Okay. That looks a little odd, so maybe it needs to follow that line there. I actually don't know. Yeah, something like that. Maybe that's not good. It doesn't look terrible. I don't know if I want to add a highlight there like that. No, probably not. Probably not. Do this. Yeah, that'll work. Don't want to go overboard with the highlighting. I actually think that basically what I've got here is fine. I may add just one little thing up here. I lied, 2 little things up there. I think that's probably okay. This part generally here just kind of makes me weird. Oh, there we go. That looks fine. It makes me weird. Okay, that's funny. Anyway. Now the question is, do I want to add these extra bright spots onto here? Just a couple of them. Yeah. Just a handful of these. Maybe over here would be better. And there. I don't want to add too many. Okay. I think that's good. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead again. Actually, I'm not. Hee hee. I'm not going to do that. I think maybe... Yep. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done. Oh, I left that Yummer's message up way too much. What's this IDR? I forgot what currency that is, but that's Snupbill's local currency. That would have been cool for like a lightning effect or something. Oh, I don't know what that's in reference to. I'm sorry. Reminds me of Kath from Dark Souls. If my art is reminding you of Dark Souls, then I'm going to take that as a huge compliment. Thank you, Jackie Daytona. Go back, you could animate that as it is appearing to the player. I don't know what you mean by that, Thassius. Imagine reading books in 2025. Imagine going to a store in 2025. Right. No, it's true. I usually don't. But the thing is, since I'm on a tighter budget, there's a bookstore that sells used books near me, and it sold this book, and it's a thick book. It's like a textbook with a bunch of drawing exercises in it, and it was only like $8. So pancake lighting, it makes the surface look flat. Talk about then the head was a bunch of different layers. Gotcha. Hello, Turbo Shook. I've been referencing your content a lot recently for building entities in my jam using composition. It's been very helpful. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, Turbo Shook. IDR's Indian rupees? It might be. Oh, it looks like it was animated when I was hiding and unhiding it. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I am going to be doing an animation on this, but I think what I'm going to do for the animation is I'm probably going to take the head and just move it up and down slightly over time. And then do a blink animation. Now that I think about it, I actually don't know how I'm going to do a blink animation. How are we feeling about this, though? Does this lighting look okay? What's kind of annoying me is this. I think that looks better. I wonder if I should actually bring this down more. No. I wonder if I should. How do we feel about this region in particular here? This looks a little bit weird to me. Did we figure out how he's going to present the options yet? No. The detail on the head makes the tentacles look super flat now. Yes, the tentacles are not done, so I'm going to apply the same treatment to the tentacles, and we'll see how that works. Lighting is really great, like the head is a fleshy brain. Awesome. Thank you, Balato. Google says Indonesian rupiah, IDR. Okay, gotcha, yeah. I feel like he's not going to quit while he's ahead. Well, there's different layers to quit while you're ahead, right? There's quit while you're ahead with the basic sketch, and then quit while you're ahead with the details, and then quit while you're ahead with the lighting, you know? And then all of that adds up to a mega quit while you're ahead. And I actually might be in that situation here. I think this region looks weird to me, but that might be just because I've been staring at this art for so long. That might be the reason. This feels like the SpongeBob. The SpongeBob episode where he drew the best "the" ever written. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think there's some things that I want to improve here, but I think I should stop with doing the details and whatnot for now. Ugh, man. All right. Is your upcoming course the multiplayer one? Will it be in GDScript? Yes to both questions. Yes. Yes, yes. So now I have to do the tentacles. Goodness gracious. One of the reasons I liked this game, one of the reasons why I started development on this game, because I was like, oh, the art is going to be really easy. And here I am. By the way, this sprite looks sick. Thank you. Appreciate that. Not even close to done with this enchantment screen though, because I gotta animate this. Let's see if I can come up with a way of doing the blink. Let's see. I'm gonna start by just making this all... Actually, you know what I'll do? Let's use just an obvious color for now. Get this all painted in. Oh, goodness. Okay. I might need to do this over several frames. I don't want to do frame by frame animations though, so I'd have to break. I have to break my rule. I think it's going to be really hard to do a blink animation. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard, actually. You know what I could do instead, maybe? Instead of a blink, we'll make him unblinking. I almost wonder if, let me think. If I take this, let me do this. If I just make him look left and right a little bit, so like he'll be animating here and then he goes. Excuse me. So if I properly mask this so that it looks like the irises are inside of the eyeball, I can just like make him look this way and then like he'll just look that way real quick. And then maybe he'll go back over this way. And I can randomize it too. So like he'll go this way maybe, and then back, and then this way again, then back again, then this way again. That might be a little bit better. So instead of trying to do a blink animation, because like one of the restrictions that I'm putting on myself is, so I've got the limited color palette, but I've got a sub palette, which is that all of my events are only using the colors that you see here. And I'm also not doing any frame by frame animation. So if I'm going to animate something, it's either going to have to be with particles, with tweens, with an animation player, or with shaders. But there is going to be no like frame by frame animation really. And so if I just make him look around like this, and I could even make it so that it follows your mouse, right? So like he looks this way if your mouse is over here. And then if you move your mouse over here, he looks at the mouse. I could do that too, so it's not random. Interesting. Yeah, animation is this whole screen is gonna be animated. The scary part is you have to make everything else keep up with the absolutely godly high quality hurdle that one angry dude made. I know, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Do you recommend any technical book? The one book that I do recommend for just programming in general, which has kind of fallen out of favor for various reasons, is Clean Code. I know people are not fans of Bob Martin, and also there's been a recent debate about how useful actually a lot of the advice is in the book. But I think if you take the book not as like a Bible that you need to follow dogmatically, but just as a way of exposing you to different concepts around how to write clean code, I think it's very, very helpful. Like one of the lessons that I took from the book that I kind of still adhere to is that your code should read like prose, meaning that when you read the code top to bottom, you should be able to basically understand what a class is doing without ever having to run the code and see. So that means that all the variable names should be clear, all the method names should be clear, and the class should basically follow solid principles, which is that it does one thing. So if you do all of those things, you can open up a class, and without even running the game or running the program, you should have a very good understanding of what the class does just by reading it. And by reading it, I mean like you shouldn't even necessarily have to read the method bodies. Like the method name alone should tell you everything that you need to know about what that method is doing. And so there's all kinds of lessons like that in that book, which I think is very useful. As a lurking full-time dad in the UK who yearns for game dev time, I really appreciate your content plus streams. Thank you for making my procrastination much more informative. Of course, Joel, and good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Happy you're here. You could make his eye a separate canvas or masked section and just tween animate an eyelid. Oh. I could do both. I could move, because I like the idea of moving the eye around to look at places, but then, yeah, tweening the eyelid. Yeah, I could definitely do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to experiment with that. I think that's a good idea. Thank you, Adaton. Welcome to the stream, by the way, brother. What if instead of a blank, he looks around a bit? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we just talked about that, right? Make it look at the mouse to F up the player. Yeah, true. Yeah, I think I could do all of the above. So make his eyes follow the mouse to some extent, and then also have periodic blinks. Clean code has a lot of good ideas, but a lot of WTF are you thinking, Bob? Yeah, I think the problem with any sort of like, code writing philosophy is that if you rigidly adhere to it, you're probably going to end up in trouble. Because like, I think fundamentally what programming is like, it's a pragmatic thing, you know? Like there are ideals that should guide how you write the code, but if you follow the ideals too strictly, like you tend to get into weird situations. I think that you just need to like, yeah, write it pragmatically, you know? I only know solid and dry, did not know more. Well, if that's all you know, then you're like, you're good. He's a pretty good programmer. Hi, how's dev going? It's going good, Himanshu, welcome back. I've worked at places that worshipped clean code. I hated those jobs the most. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you get these things like, well, yeah, we have to dogmatically adhere to clean code, or like we need 95% test coverage, which it's like, you know, there are some places that would insist, like, if you have a method that just adds two numbers together, you have to insist upon writing a test for it. It's like, there's one line here, or there's like 4 lines, and like I can, as a developer, read it and say, yeah, there's no possibility for a bug here, right? And it's like, nope, gotta test it. And it's just, okay, wasting time, I guess. You know? So I think a pragmatic approach is just like, yeah, you should test code, but you should test the critical failure points, you know? But that, I mean, the reason I recommend clean code is because when I was first starting out, like professionally working, a senior engineer recommended that I read it, and I did, and my code quality got better basically overnight. And so that's why it kind of has a good, it had a good impact on me at least. Hello, Harsh Falaki. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Alrighty. Alrighty. I don't know what changes I made. You're good too? Awesome. Glad to hear that. Did everyone watch the new code review video? That's up on the channel. It's doing numbers. 4,000 views since yesterday. That's pretty good. Although the first video I did in this series did much better. I don't know if I need to change the thumbnail or what. It's so hard. YouTube is so hard, man. It's like, well, do I have a good title and do I have a good thumbnail? And like, I think this video is better than this other one, but the other video got way more views. And so it's like, it's so hard to nail down like what YouTube is looking for in a video. Yeah, I don't understand I just don't understand at all, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, goodness. Wait a minute. So I have an idea for a spin on the code review series that I've been doing, which, I don't know, should I mention it? Do you guys want to hear what it is? Should I spoil it? Maybe if I spoil it, it's going to force me to like get it out to market before someone else does. You're one of the best indie game devs I've seen. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that, Pocket Pixie. I wish I had like the commercial sales to back that up, but that's a very good compliment. So thank you. I appreciate that. Where do you end up putting the health globes? Good question. They're still just randomly placed because I don't know what to do with them. Gonna be the next notch, but without the... I don't know if I can say this for YouTube. To get demonetized, but... if I could be the next notch, that would be quite awesome. New code review video was good. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's only easy for big channels. Yeah. I've heard even releasing it during lunch break at your target audience doubles numbers. Yeah, well, YouTube gives you analytics about when the majority of your audience, or when the most sizable portion of your audience is online. And typically it's, yeah, in the hours of like 10 a.m. my time to like 2 p.m. my time. So I just usually release it at 10 a.m. You want me to spoil it? Let's hear it. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to need you guys' help, though, with this, because I'm going to need you to go bully some Godot developers. So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that I would do the code review series, but the tiny spin on it would be that I would contact and try to get... I would try to cooperate with Godot developers who are actually publishing games on Steam. And the idea is that I would hop on a call with them, ask them to share their project, and I would ask them questions about what they're doing in their Godot project and how they're accomplishing different things. And so what you as the viewer would get is you would get to see what a project that's intending to be a commercial release looks like in Godot. But then also, since I would be the one directing questions, I think that I would be able to ask questions that maybe some of you wouldn't have, or I'd be able to at least ask the questions that produce like the most interesting answers, if that makes sense. So I think that would be really fun. So it'd be like me and another experienced developer basically talking about their project from a technical standpoint and how they're doing different things. I've been on Godot Blender train for a while now. A lot of devs were stubborn, sticking to Unity. Yeah. Now Godot is taking flight. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think Godot is on the Blender trajectory, which is that it starts off as like a scrappy kind of fun alternative to the programs that are out there, but it gets adopted and so loved by the community that it eventually starts to become like the de facto program. So like Blender, I mean, I think even big companies are using Blender now rather than the paid software. And I think Godot is going the same way. Yeah, absolutely. I really like the code review videos because you actually take the time to provide suggestions, solutions while being very pragmatic and considerate of the person and their project. Well, thank you. Yeah. I'm trying not to make the code review series like, let's all bully this developer, you know? And because like even the projects that are quote unquote bad are really useful for instructional content for other people who are in the same boat, you know? So it's like, it just ends up helping everybody, even if your project is not ideal or not really structured that well. It's still great to share it with everyone so we can see how to, you know, how we can address various issues. That would be really insightful, insanely insightful. I hope so. It'd be cool if you review devs of viral Godot games, Buckshot, Domekeeper. I would love to do that. I think what I'd have to do though is build up the series a little bit so that I can go to those devs and say like, hey, these videos are getting 50,000 views a piece. Do you want to participate, you know? Anyway, that's something that I want to do. I think it would be really cool. Sounds really promising. I wanted to so badly to send you my project for the code review, but I'm kind of scared of some code smells. Mixing composition, inheritance, and other things. Going to release hopefully pretty soon, so it can be fun to have a game almost done to review. Yeah, whenever you're comfortable submitting, you can submit it with all the code smells, or you can clean it up a bit and submit it to me. Obviously, you know, I've got probably 25 submissions now, so if I release a video every 2 weeks, we're already talking about like a year out, and that's if I choose to review every single project. So the unfortunate thing is that, you know, there's a good chance that if you submit your project, I'll never cover it in a video, because I'm also trying to look for projects that have things I can talk about that I haven't already covered. You know what I mean? So, but I still encourage you to submit it, because the more projects I have available, the better decision that I can make about what video to produce. I wish I could cover everyone's, but that's just not feasible, especially with the other work that I'm doing. Metroidvanias are something that I'd be interested in making at some point. The problem is I don't really play Metroidvanias. I played a little bit of Hollow Knight, so I don't really know. I mean, I was going to say I don't know how to design them. I'm not really that great at designing games generally yet. It's still a skill that I'm developing, but I think Metroidvania would be fun. There's all kinds of things that would be fun, like Metroidvanias. I like building roguelikes because they're easy to build, relatively speaking, as a solo developer. But like, I would love to build like a 2D action RPG in the vein of Diablo 2 that's maybe more story driven. It's just, yeah, there's so many. I would love to build a Terraria clone, which we talked about the other day. There's so many things. So many things, not enough time. The octopus looks like he has a nose now. Well, he kind of does, right? I mean, if you imagine, I was kind of, when I was drawing him, I kind of imagined like Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. You know how he's got like that flat part of his face with the tentacles coming down? I will hurry up and submit then. Yeah. Whenever you're comfortable submitting, totally fine. Thomas Brush is doing a similar thing with Unity developers, and it's awesome. He did one with Pontypants, and it was crazy seeing what a game looked like raw in Unity. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically stealing that idea from him. But I won't be directly competing with him, for one, because he's talking to really big developers, which I'm sure I'm not going to be able to get many big developers, if any, onto my series. But two, he's covering Unity. And so I'm just going to do basically the same format. Well, it's not going to be basically the same format, because they talk about game dev stuff generally speaking too. But yeah, I think my videos are just going to be purely technical focused for educational purposes. But yeah, I've got a couple of Godot developers in mind that I want to reach out to and ask if they'd be willing to do that. And we'll see. So that's what I've got noodling around. I think it would be a really fun series, though. I think you would have started off interviewing smaller devs, too, yeah. Drop their names. Well, I don't want to, because I don't want to... like, sort of like rope them into my project, I guess. But if you guys have any Godot developers that are developing games that are intended to be commercial releases right now, if you know of anyone, let me know. I'll basically just be doing searches on YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter, to find such developers. But yeah, if you've got any favorite devlog producers or whatever, let me know. Cool. All right. Let's see. Metroidvania is a game type that has player upgrade mechanics, and the game is designed an area that need to upgrade to access. Yeah, I think Metroidvania is probably, my impression is that it's one of the more difficult games you could design, for the reason that, you know, your map has to be laid out in a very specific way such that certain areas are not accessible until you get certain key items. But if you ever want to change the flow of like when you get a key item or whatever, that could have ramifications for how you've designed your map. So, and a lot of that is really hard to track too, right? So it could be something as simple as like moving the location of a key item could inadvertently like soft lock the game, because now you can no longer access a part of the map when you should be able to, right? So that's just like, I think it'd just be really, and then also just designing a compelling Metroidvania experience that also hasn't been done already, right? Because I'm not sure you could just make a Hollow Knight clone and people would like gobble it up. Maybe that's the case, but I don't know. Tile sets would be a nightmare. I think it's one of those games where I think it would be deceptively tricky to design in a compelling way. I want to make a game, but I'm not sure if I can make it in a traditional game engine. Do you think higher spatial dimensions are programmable in Godot? I don't know what you mean. I mean, I know what you mean by higher spatial dimensions. I mean, you can do all of the math in Godot, but in terms of like translating that math into something visible on screen, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, high game design for sure. Because like if I were to, I could probably clone the Hollow Knight combat and movement system in like an afternoon in Godot, but that's not, like, Hollow Knight is not a great game because of its combat and its movement necessarily. It's a great name because of the world design and the story and the Metroidvania exploration aspect, right? So anyway. All right, well, I should probably end the stream there. I gotta eat lunch and then go pick up that book and then work on some more course content this afternoon. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. That was a fun stream. Got this art in place, which is great. So yeah, it was fun. Thank you all for your feedback and suggestions as well. And thanks for chatting. It was a lot of fun. I will probably be on tomorrow, 10 a.m. I still have these plumbers that are supposed to come, but I don't know when that's happening. So if I do stream tomorrow, it'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern, the usual time. Animal Well didn't have any combat. That's a good point, yeah. I'd be interested in more context for the code reviews, like how old the project is and a bit of info on how long the dev has been coding. Okay, I will definitely... Yeah, I can probably add that to the form submission stuff to collect more information. But that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll see if I can mention that on the next one. Good guess. Yes, good guess. Torquato, Window Kill, Heart Beast. Ooh, yes. Those are all great suggestions. Thank you. I'm going to write those down. I do like Good Guess. Good Guess produces really awesome content. Although, I'm not sure... He seems to be a little bit tight-lipped in terms of the content that's in his game, so I don't know if he would be willing to, like, open up his project and show everything, you know? For the simple reason that the game's just not out yet and he wants to preserve the secrets, which is totally understandable. But I will definitely keep him in mind. Just caught the end of the stream. Was nice though, yeah. Later, skater. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for responding to all our messages. Have a good day. Really enjoyed the stream. Of course. Yeah, I hope you all have a good day as well. And thank you again for all your support. Check the links in the description below for all of my links and courses and Gunforged and all that stuff. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.